What's good, guys? Prince Sports here, coming at you with another one, bringing the filth. So, you know that the Lakers are potentially a team that may miss the playoffs for a second straight season, right? But let's just say, for argument's sake, that this wild scenario takes place. Let's just say LeBron James asks to be traded, right? Now, he's not going to get traded off the top of the dome. Rob Pelinka, nobody in the Lakers front office is going to trade LeBron James without his consent. Okay, he's going to have to be the guy that wants to be traded. But let's just say he wants to be traded. Let's just say he doesn't want to miss a second straight postseason, even though he's playing with a talented roster. He's playing with a talented teammates, top 10 best player in the game when he's on the court, future Hall of Famer Russell Westbrook, average a triple-double. I mean, it speaks for itself. Okay, when you look at two top 5 to top 10 players that people perceive when they're playing on the basketball court, they look at these guys as the next Kareem and the next Magic Johnson, all right? And with LeBron and AD. That's what they were compared to. But let's just say LeBron wants to be traded. So here's a top 3 trade destinations for LeBron James, right? So now let's just take a look at some of these trade scenarios, right? So here we go with one. Now, the first one is the New York Knicks, okay? Now, the New York Knicks, with LeBron James on it, they'll boost up ticket sales. Now, this would be a team full of youngsters on it, and LeBron James would be just playing for stats with this team, almost similar to what he's doing with the Lakers. So this is why this is the first one to showcase, because I don't see this trade happening. I think this would be just for a ratings boost, right? Because there's no reason for why LeBron James at this stage in his career to want to go to the Knicks. His objective is to win championships. That should be his objective, okay? I'm thinking anybody this late in their career, they want to cap it off with winning championships. So going to the Lakers is not going to the Knicks is not a realistic one. But let's just see, what could the Knicks actually offer for LeBron James for it to actually even make sense? Okay, so basically, the Knicks receive LeBron James, and the Lakers receive RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, 3 first-round draft picks, 2 second-round draft picks. Okay, so basically, there'd be a team for the future. But if you have AD on that roster, and you pit AD with RJ Barrett, they still have Russell Westbrook. I don't know if you want to still use him to come off the bench at this point, but AD will be your main vocal point. He has to stay healthy. This team would be a playoff contending team with AD and some of these pieces on here with RJ Barrett and all these guys. They have enough depth to compete for a playoff spot. Probably a lower seed, but they still would get their chances to be a playoff contending basketball team and compete for the future and build around AD with future draft picks. So that is the reason why it benefits the Lakers, but it doesn't necessarily benefit LeBron James. So let's move on. Now let's take a look at the second trade offer, right? Second trade offer is LeBron James going to the Toronto Raptors, okay? I like this one the best because if LeBron wants to still win championships, what better place to do this than Toronto? He could try to do the Kawhi Leonard because, listen, if you get LeBron James on the Toronto Raptors with all those pieces, the Fred VanVleets, the young depth that they get, they're a deep roster, right? So if you add LeBron there and he could stay healthy, they could make a run at competing against a lot of teams in the East and perhaps probably making the finals. But he has to play at a high level all year long with the pieces that he got. So let's take a look at how this trade offer would go about. So you got LeBron James going to the Toronto Raptors. You got the Lakers receiving Pascal Siakam, 3 first-round draft picks, 2 second-round draft picks. So this would be a team building for the future. But Pascal Siakam with AD, with Russell Westbrook, Dennis Schroeder, and all those role players, they'd be a playoff contending team again, and they would have a good chance of getting top draft picks Who knows? Let's just say, for argument's sake, they land number one, you know, out of the miracles that could take place on this earth. They land number one. They could get Victor Wembanyama. Okay, if they get that, you compare that with AD, Pascal Siakam, and the number one draft pick, they'd be looking like a good team headed to to the future for the Lakers and next season. So that's a good trade on both ends because LeBron would have OJ Abayo, he would have Fred Van Fleet, he would have Scotty Barnes, he would have a good solid cast that could help him make a run in the Eastern Conference and compete as well. And it helped boost his legacy if he could win a championship with that Toronto Raptors roster. But we all know LeBron being the guy he is, he needs the competitive edge over people in terms of stacking the deck. But that's neither here or there. So let's go to the third trade. All right. So the third trade would be LeBron James going to the Chicago Bulls. Okay. This should something that should have happened back in 2010. But nevertheless, the Bulls are an up-and-coming team, and you add LeBron James, they could compete in the Eastern Conference. But let's see what this trade does for the Lakers, okay? Because the Lakers are the team that needs to make this trade. If this goes down, it has to be appealing to them. But check this out: Zach LaVine, Pat Williams, 3 first-round draft picks, 2 second-round draft picks. So they'd be good in the draft pick aspect, but they'd be taking in another All-Star or borderline All-Star. He iffy on both levels. But if you compare him with AD, he's a perimeter player. And you pair him with AD and Russell Westbrook, Pat Bev, Dennis Schroeder, and all those other guys. They're competing for a playoff spot again. All right. So the Lakers, with all these trades taking place, they're competing for a playoff spot. They always have an option to compete for a playoff spot and land more talent in the draft. What this does for LeBron James, this puts him on the Chicago Bulls. They can make a run for the playoffs, but that's about it. They won't be championship contenders. The only team on this roster that gives LeBron James a chance to be championship contenders or compete and go far is the Toronto Raptors. So that's the only team that makes sense in this 3-team trade scenario. The rest is just to boost his numbers and, stat pad. He could do that on the Los Angeles Lakers. He don't need to go further than that. All right. So those are the 3 trade offers that you could get for LeBron James. He still has the most trade value. I mean, he could go to a team like the Phoenix Suns that could offer good value. They're depleting their team. And you may say, why would the Phoenix Suns want to pair Chris Paul and LeBron James on the same team? Easily. Chris Paul could be a perimeter player that could close games out, and LeBron James could be more of the point guard. And they could feed off each other in that way. But nevertheless, what you think of those 3-team trade scenarios? I'm out. Peace.